Alright people, today we got a lot of video game news. Of course, Summer Games Fest happened this morning, and some stuff that was not supposed to be announced got leaked. So today I wanted to do kind of a general news video talking about Summer Games Fest, my favorite announcements from that event, but also that big leak. So we will be talking about Persona. Let's get into it. Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is BoTalksGames, and I'm very excited to talk to you all today about Summer Games Fest because I just recorded Nintendo Select. You'll be seeing that tomorrow morning. I think this was one of Jeff Keighley's best showcases ever. There's definitely still those games and those moments where it's like, okay, what's going on here? I don't care. Like Nick Cage coming up on stage to talk about Dead by Daylight, that's weird. But in terms of having new announcements, things that speak to me, things that interest me, I think this Summer Games Fest kickoff event was one of the best he's done. We'll get into specifics, but I thought it was really good, honestly. The Game Awards last year with Judas and Hades 2 and all these things, and Bayonetta Origins, of course, that was a big event, but of course, Bayonetta Origins I popped for. There wasn't like that much that really excited me. And to be fair, with Summer Games Fest this year, maybe I just had lower expectations, but I'm pretty happy with what we saw. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Starting off, they revealed a new Prince of Persia game. I've never played Prince of Persia, but I thought this looked really good. Correct me if I'm wrong, Prince of Persia, not a 2D franchise. So this is coming out from Ubisoft in January. It's been a while since a Ubisoft game interests me. Coming to Switch too, and most of these things that actually interested me coincidentally are also coming to Switch, so go figure. With the exception of, well, 2 of them. Well, really 3, I guess. But, yeah, I thought this new Prince of Persia game looked really sick. I don't know if I'll play it. I need to see more previews, get some reviews, but, it was cool to see, especially amidst all the drama with the remake of this game being, kind of canceled, or the remake of the original Sands of Time, right? Being canceled and then rebooted in development and all this stuff. Seeing a new Prince of Persia game was honestly pretty exciting. I'm excited for that. Hopefully it reviews well, and, maybe I'll check it out, because it's coming soon, January. That's really not that far away. I guess that's 6 or 7 months, right? So, definitely a good pop from Ubisoft there. Now, next up, we saw Mortal Kombat 1. Now, I don't think I've talked about this in a video yet, but I have been really into Street Fighter 6. I'm not a fighting game person, but Street Fighter 6 has really been speaking to me. Maybe it's just the simple modern controls they added in, but I've really been enjoying Ranked in Street Fighter 6. World Tour, I'm not as positive on. But the next thing they showed was Mortal Kombat 1, and I was really surprised by just how excited I got for this trailer, with the context of now me getting into my first fighting game with Street Fighter, because it is very accessible. This trailer for Mortal Kombat 1 was freaking awesome. Really fast-paced. That was my takeaway from it. It is really fast. So I'm really excited for this. It comes out in September. It is coming out on Switch. I will be getting it on PS5, but, you know, Mortal Kombat's a series I grew up with, and then I just haven't really played anything in between. Maybe I'll go back to Mortal Kombat 11 before this comes out and give it a try. But the world, the lore, the characters of Mortal Kombat is really cool to me. And the fatalities, like, yeah, it's cool to see someone's skull getting crushed, I guess. But I'm excited for this one. This one looks really good. And, you know, NetherRealm's been making this for, what, 4 years now, which I think is the longest they've ever worked on a game. Because Mortal Kombat 11 was 4 years ago now, so they've been cooking it, and it shows. The stages especially surprised me with how, like, there's a lot of, like, depth going on with the stages in Mortal Kombat 1, and I don't know, I thought it looked really great. So that's a game I'm very excited to check out later this year. A couple more games that spoke to me. Big shocker. I would have never thought I would say this. I think Sonic Superstars looks fantastic. I am not a Sonic fan. In fact, I actively kind of dislike Sonic. Even the ones that people love, like Sonic Mania, I was just kind of lukewarm one. I'll agree it's probably the best 2D Sonic game, or one of the best, but I still didn't love it that much. I like colors. I like Sonic Colors. But Sonic's never really been my thing. I think Sonic Superstars looks fantastic, though. Adding this 4-player co-op, I saw someone say it's like the new Super Mario Bros. Of Sonic games. I don't know if it's that, but they're adding this 4-player co-op. This new art style I think is fantastic. This one really spoke to me. I'm excited for this. It's getting it's a full price release from Sonic Team, I believe, coming out later this year, a year after Frontiers, so kind of a fast turnaround there. But to see another 2D Sonic game from Sonic Team is, I think, really exciting, because we had Mania in 2017, and I think that team had some sort of falling out with Sonic Origins and Sega, but seeing them go back to the roots, make a 2D Sonic game after Frontiers was such a big departure for 3D Sonic. Seeing them go back and do a proper 2D Sonic, like a Generations kind of style, I thought this looked amazing. I'm gonna be honest. I would go as far as to say I think the game looks amazing. I love the art style and all, like, the quirky different little bonus levels you do. You turn on like an octopus or a jellyfish or something, right, at one point. And this, like, weird voxel art style. I think this game looks fantastic. I'm excited to play it co-op with my friends, my girlfriend maybe. And yeah, I think Sonic Superstars is probably one of the games I'm more excited for to play later this year. I probably won't get it at full price. I think $60 until we see more and get more impressions is maybe a lot to ask for any 2D Sonic game, in my opinion. But I'll probably wait for Black Friday and pick it up then. I think this looks great, man. I really do. Not sure the exact order of events here. We did get a release date for Spider-Man 2. Obviously, this is a Nintendo channel, but I am very excited for Spider-Man 2 coming out October 20th. So getting a release date for Spider-Man already made this better than the PlayStation Showcase, so go figure. Thank you, Sony, for giving us something to look forward to. We also saw another game that is actively not confirmed for Switch. We know it's coming to PlayStation and Xbox, but not coming to Switch, although based on this company's track record, I would assume it will probably end up coming to Switch after it releases on other platforms, and that is Sandland. So if you don't know what Sandland is, it is a one-off manga that Akira Toriyama made after creating Dragon Ball, and it's kind of like this Mad Max, you know, bandits in the desert kind of vibe, art style going on here. Sandland's not my favorite. I think it's fine. It's a cute little manga. I enjoy it. They teased in December that they were doing some new Sandland projects, and then they later revealed a Sandland movie was coming out. It comes out in August in Japan. At the time when they revealed that, I was like, oh, it's going to be a Sandland game. And then I gave up that hope when they announced the movie. But now here we are, a few months later, and Sandland, the video game, is announced from Akira Toriyama, from Bandai Namco. And it's this, like, seemingly open world, kind of, like I said, Mad Max style game. I'm not sure how good this will actually be, but to see such a weird pick getting such love and representation from, I don't know who's developing it, obviously Bandai Namco's publishing, but a weird game to see get announced and just exist, and even the fact they're making a movie is weird. So I'm excited for this. I'll probably check it out on PS5, and then, like I said, I do think it will probably come to Switch, like, you know, Demon Slayer came 8 months later, Kakarot came a year later, Fighters came later, so I would assume this will come to Switch eventually, but yeah, really weird announcement there. And then, of course, the show ended off with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I really liked Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I already know that this game is going to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I don't really need to see it. Maybe I'm weird in that, you know, if I'm excited for a game that's already announced and I know it's going to be great, like Final Fantasy 16, for example, great example of this, I don't really need to see it, to be honest. Getting that early 2024 release window was nicer. In fact, I think it actually just said 2024, so maybe it's going to get delayed to be, you know, a little bit later in 2024. But getting that release window is nice, but I don't know, I didn't really need to see it. It looks fantastic. I'll say that. Getting Red 13 playable, fantastic. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it's going to be good. And those were the main things that spoke to me from SummerGamesFest. You know, these shows are weird because Jeff Keighley has to try to balance everybody. And not everybody's going to like everything that they show, but I think this with this showcase, he did a really good job. At least for me. You know, I'm not a huge Sonic fan. That announcement made me happy. A week ago, I probably wouldn't have been that excited for Mortal Kombat 1. I think that game looks great, though. Sandland was certainly the thing that got me the most excited, just from a pure WTF moment, right? Not having Nintendo properly at these events certainly makes it hard, I think, to please the Nintendo audience at the very least. But I thought this was a pretty strong showcase, and I'm excited for a lot of the stuff they showed. But that is not all that happened today. In fact, there's another thing that I'll probably make a separate video on, the whole Zelda Illumination shenanigans. Persona 3 Reloaded leaked. But not only that, Persona 5 Tactica leaked. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like a Persona fan. I'm not really, not for lack of, like, oh, I don't like it. I just haven't really dived deep into it. I played like 20 hours of Persona 5 Royal, and I enjoyed what I played. I need to get back to that. I know that's like a shame on my backlog. But yeah, we saw on Instagram today, Persona 3 Reloaded and Persona 5 Tactica leaked on Instagram from Atlas. All the stuff's been taken down. I can't show footage of it here, obviously. We knew these things were coming from domain names and other previous rumors, but to see it leak like this is a little, I don't know, that's not really surprising. We knew we were going to see it most likely at the Xbox Game Showcase on Sunday, so that's when we'll get the formal announcement. I think what's interesting with these, though, to me, is as someone who analyzes the industry, is just whether or not they will come to Switch, because in the trailers that leaked, it's all Xbox branding all over it. This happened last year when they announced Persona 3 and Persona 4 for Xbox at the Xbox Showcase, where initially it was only confirmed for Xbox, and then like a couple days later it was announced for PlayStation, and then it wasn't until the partner showcase that they were announced for Switch. I would be shocked if these don't come to Switch. I think the expectation should certainly be, oh yes, this game is going to come to Switch, or sorry, these games are going to come to Switch. But because Atlas is weird, and because Xbox may have locked down some sort of exclusivity, which would be insane, it's not that cut and dry. It should be. It certainly should be. There should be no question in our hearts or our brains that Persona 3 Remake is coming to Switch. That should be an obvious thing. It's seemingly running on the Persona 5 engine, and there should certainly be no question that the Persona 5 Chibi Tactics game is going to come to Switch, where it would almost certainly sell best. But that's not the reality we live in, so I'll be very curious to see if they do come to Switch. I think they probably will, and I'm playing so much right now. I'm still playing Street Fighter Ranked, really loving Diablo 4. I want to get to some of these games. I want to play Sonic Mania finally and like finish it. I played a decent amount of it. I didn't love it, but I want to finish that. Maybe even try Sonic Frontiers. I want to play Mortal Kombat 11. I want to play, obviously, Final Fantasy 16 is coming out, and then Pikmin and Everybody Want to Switch, of course. Round of applause for that game. But I would love to make time for Persona 5 Royal finally and just get into that. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I want to be excited. Persona is a franchise I know I would pop for. This would be like a crazy, like this would make this Summer Games Fest event for me if I saw that trailer, but I can't as a not Persona fan get excited. So maybe that's my goal this summer, Persona 5 Royal, so I can truly be excited about Persona 3 Reloaded and Persona 5 Tactica. Persona 5 Tactica coming out November 17th, I believe, and then Persona 3 Reload coming out in 2024. So I think people were predicting it would come out this year, so a little bit later, but we're getting that Tactics game this year. Exciting stuff. If nothing else, and to be fair, Jeff Keighley's not responsible for Persona leaking, but just talking about Summer Games Fest, I definitely got vibes of E3 today. I felt happy. I felt like, oh, there's a community happening here, the gaming industry's coming together, and we're getting some good vibes. I know it's not quite to that tier. We're not getting a Nintendo Direct. We're not getting a PlayStation. Well, we got a PlayStation showcase, and it was terrible, and it was 2 weeks ago. But just like it feels like Xbox and Jeff Keighley are keeping it together. You know, they're keeping this E3 June timeframe together for us, and I really appreciate that. So let me know your thoughts on all of this stuff down below. Did you see any games at Summer Games Fest that you're excited for? Are you excited for Persona 3 Reload or Persona 5 Tactica? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like I mentioned, 3-hour episode of Nintendo Select going live tomorrow, where we go over everything in more detail from Summer Games Fest, all the other Nintendo news this week, as well as our E3 or Nintendo, let's just say Nintendo predictions for the rest of the year. So stay tuned for that episode going live tomorrow morning. Until next time, folks, peace.